One got knocked down, he won't get up again. The other went knocked him down. One got knocked down, and now he's fucking dead. The other went knocked him out. Combo Breaker!
Over the top and donned in red, today's fighters go above and beyond to massacre their enemies in creative fashions with their huge-ass arsenals. I'm of course talking about today's fighters. Wade, insert penis or cancer joke here, Wilson, aka Deadpool. And Red, the ultra-violent stickman of dick figures. Wade Wilson, Deadpool, Merc with a mouth, sugar tits, I don't know, whatever the fuck you want to call him. This guy's amazing. He's got 2 fucking hilarious movies, an amazing video game, and of course a huge dick. Son of a bitch. Damn it, how the fuck did Deadpool get into the script? I didn't Google share with anyone. Let's just hope he didn't change anything else. Deadpool is famous for his stupidly high healing factor. This allows him to come back from pretty much anything. You know, whether it be being stabbed, shot, murdered, gutted, just anything you can really think of. He's also highly resistant to soul attacks, possession, and telepathy, and he can't have his moves copied. He's so unpredictable that at one point Taskmaster, whose literal power is to copy moves and powers, couldn't figure out what the fuck he was doing and couldn't copy him. Also, he uses an annoying banter to distract foes. He can also break the fourth wall, and he's aware he's a fictional character. Plus, he can interact with spirits. But most importantly is his hammer space ability, which I'll talk about in just a second. Deadpool typically carries his signature twin katanas, as well as a special carbonadium katana that can nullify healing factors. He also carries 2 pistols, 2 SMGs, dual-wield shotguns, and dual-wield laser guns. He also has access to any other gun or explosive he'd ever want. He also has access to 2 hammers, 2 sais, grenades, flashbangs, and bear traps, and so much more thanks to his hammer space. But there's one other weapon we forgot to mention. His best weapon by far is his huge penis. Son of a bitch, Deadpool. God, I'm gonna have to make sure I keep this shit under tighter security next time. So Deadpool also has his teleportation belt that does exactly what you think it lets him do. Teleport around the battlefield. He's also learned reuse signature Shoryuken or rising uppercut. Now, it is important to mention that he only has this in Marvel vs. Capcom, but I like to include it because it's just a funny note. Deadpool is actually stronger than Captain America, and he's actually fought Spider-Man and Wolverine before. However, they were not going all out, and he's only able to keep up with them for short bursts of time. And as I've mentioned before, he's beaten Taskmaster, and obviously he's beaten all sorts of goons. And of course, he can carry around his massive dick. Son of a bitch! Yeah, I need to make sure I start double-checking these scripts before I record them. Now, like I mentioned last episode, Deadpool has dodged gunfire at close range. He's actually far more impressive than that when it comes to speed feats, as he's dodged Cyclops' optic blast from close range, he's dodged lightning within close range, and even dodged a few hits from a held-back Spider-Man. However, he was only able to do this for a short burst of time. He's also deflected machine gun fire with his swords, which is just impressive as all hell. Now, Deadpool is also durable as all hell, and to be fair, this actually has to do a lot with his healing factor. But he survived missiles, meteors, satellite explosions, and the Empire State Building collapsing on him. And he did all of this without a scratch. The only thing that can really permanently put him down is a planetary collision. But he's capable of healing from almost nothing, like a single drop of blood. Yeah, he's crazy durable, and he has stupid high stamina. Just ask all of his previous lovers and sex partners. Son of a bitch, Deadpool, how the fuck did you get in the script? After this, I'm gonna have a talking to you. Jeez. Deadpool is incredibly proficient with all of his weapons. He's also a highly trained mercenary, and he's fought and killed all kinds of opponents, ranging from your basic goons to mutants. But he's also fucking insane. He actually has voices in his head and he often does all sorts of off-the-wall bullshit. And this leads to his biggest flaw. Due to his healing factor, he thinks he's unkillable, invincible, immortal even, and for good reason. But because he often does stupid shit and doesn't sweat taking damage, this can actually put him in a pretty bad situation if he's not careful. Also, he's got one other huge problem. He is incredibly easily distracted by sexy women, big boobs, and all your generic sexy things. So yeah, Deadpool can get himself into some pretty deep shit if he's not careful. Okay, let me just start off by saying Dick Figures is a freaking hilarious YouTube show, and if you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. It's on YouTube, fucking hilarious. But more importantly, we're talking about Red, the ultra-violent, super kick-ass protagonist. So let's go ahead and talk about his arsenal of powers and weapons, and he's got some crazy-ass shit in that arsenal. He's used a large array of weapons like baseball bats, shotguns, chainsaws, swords, lightsabers, assault rifles, a bag of fucking chips, ninja stars, a handgun, a tomahawk, a flamethrower, and so much more. But he's also incredibly deadly with his bare hands and even his opponent's limbs. Yeah, I said his limbs. He once killed multiple ninjas with another ninja's leg. When it comes to superpowers, he can instantly create a Batman costume around him, he can friggin' fly, fire lasers from his eyes and hands, and fire Kamehameha style blasts from his hands. He's a literal chick magnet, as he can attract any girl, both by choice or even just by being near them. He can magnetize kittens near him with the same power, and he can force any two girls to make out. He also concentrates so hard it sends out a pulse, causing any opponents it hits to have their heads fucking explode. And Red's a master of using his environment as a weapon. He can also break the fourth wall, and most impressively, his ungodly luck. He was able to walk through a dungeon filled with traps and didn't even notice by the time he got out, despite his best friend Blue being hit with every single trap. But when it comes to it, when it comes down to it, he does also have immense toon force. He was able to use a shotgun as a rifle, and he can eat anything, like when he ate barbed wire and chased it with his own piss. Oh yeah. So what about stats? He's strong enough to rip a man in half. He can, with nothing but his bare hands, and he can decapitate a zombie with a bag of chips. He's thrown a shotgun through a man's skull. He's actually, while in the first grade, he was able to destroy a bridge by throwing a baseball bat through it and cave in a jungle gym with his bare hands. Red's also lifted an entire factory with ease, plus he's actually high-fived his best friend so hard it destroyed 19 city blocks, and he once had sex with a girl who had the perfect pair of boobs with so much force it created an explosion that was visible from space. Oh, he also once killed every single dinosaur. Yeah, Red's a badass. But Red's also pretty fast. He's dodged gunfire from a minigun, thrown a shotgun through the air, and while he was spinning, he drew his pistol and shot a bullet that hit the trigger, blowing off the man's head. And then he caught the shotgun when it rebounded back to him. Also, he fought 37 ninjas all at once in a 37 against 1 fight, and he won. And he's actually had the speed to have sex with 4 girls in under 10 seconds, and 20 more girls within the preceding 10 seconds. Now, Red is also crazy durable. He's been able to survive a fall from a helicopter through a store roof unscathed, without a parachute. For a frame of reference, a helicopter's average cruising altitude is about 8,000 feet. He's also survived similar falls all the time, and he survived an explosion. He survived that 19 city block explosion that I mentioned earlier when he high-fived his friend. He also survived the explosion that was caused from the explosion visible from space from when he had sex with that one girl. Yeah. Plus, he survived so much more, like wearing a bear trap as a hat, having sex while on fire, falling from space to Earth as a child, and being in water so cold it froze a normal human in seconds. He was also able to stare at a perfect pair of boobs, and this same perfect pair of boobs was actually blinding the eyes of his friends behind him, and he was able to stare directly into them. When it comes to intelligence, Red falls flat, so flat, because he's a complete fucking idiot. At one point, he thought a bear trap was a hat. He stole a cop car, and then when the cops asked why he was going so fast, he said there's a bank robbery. And then he proceeded to say that he then proceeded to believe that the bank robbery was actually happening. Went in and actually committed the bank robbery himself, and then convinced the cops that they were robbing the bank to keep the money safe, and it was okay because they were cops. Oh yeah. On top of that, all that, he's stupid enough to give himself amnesia on purpose, and he's actually burned down his apartment complex by playing the electric guitar. Yeah. There are also so many other feats of stupidity, like, you know, the fact that he lost his virginity to a tree, or the father to a slot machine somehow. But at the same time, he is smart enough to escape prison with nothing but a spoon, and he has used a human leg as a weapon to successfully kill multiple trained ninjas. So he's not a complete idiot when it comes to training and, like, experience. He's just an idiot in normal intelligence. And then we fall into Red's flaws. He's so perverted he once used 99% of the world's internet to find the perfect pair of boobs, and like I mentioned earlier, he's a total idiot. Despite surviving huge explosions and dodging bullets, he's actually scared of bullets, which is another huge flaw and kinda stupid if you think about it. Alright, our warriors are set. Let's see which Red jackass comes out on top in a fight to the death. Red is sitting in a Mexican restaurant, getting ready to take a bite down of a huge chimichanga. As his teeth come down, Deadpool teleports in and swipes his chimichanga. Deadpool then eats the chimichanga as Red looks at him angrily. Red pulls out a handgun and shoots Deadpool in the head, causing him to fall to the floor bleeding. Red then inhales the fumes of his gun as Deadpool stands back up with the bullet hole now gone. He then turns to look at Red as he draws his katanas. Deadpool goes to stab at Red, who jumps up and throws 2 ninja stars at him, hitting him in the top of the head. Red comes crashing down and lands with his crotch on Deadpool's face as he spins around, breaking Deadpool's neck. Red then grabs him from behind and rips him clean in half, forming a Batman costume around him as he yells out, "I'm Batman!" Deadpool yells out, "My spleen!" as his body is torn in half. Red then starts to walk away, only to hear what sounds like the cracking bones. Red turns around only to see Deadpool twisting his head back into place. Deadpool pulls out 2 submachine guns and starts firing at Red, who ducks behind a counter. Deadpool continues his onslaught, screaming out, "Bang, bang, 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 bang!" with every shot, but he's soon cut off when the guns start to click. Red jumps up and fires a laser shot from his eyes, hitting Deadpool through a wall and into the street. Deadpool then stands back up only to see Red sprinting full speed at him. Deadpool swings a large hammer at Red and hits him into the sky, and he then follows up. Red starts to fly in place as Deadpool teleports up to him, but Red fires a blast of energy point blank into Deadpool, leveling multiple city blocks around them. Deadpool's blood and organs begin to rain down as Red lands. Red smiles as some girls start to walk over. Red then goes to kiss one of the girls, but he's stopped when he hears Deadpool behind him saying, "Ooh, that looks fun, can I join?" Red then grabs a shotgun and points it at Deadpool as Deadpool dashes past him multiple times, slashing Red with each pass. Deadpool looks at Red and throws his shotgun at Deadpool. The shotgun gets point blank to his head as Red shoots the trigger with his handgun, causing the shotgun to go off, blowing off Deadpool's head. Red then runs over and punches Deadpool's headless body through multiple buildings. Deadpool then teleports in front of Red, who focuses his brain, launching out a pulse, causing Deadpool's head to explode. Deadpool then regenerates his head and screams at the top of his lungs, "Stop doing that!" Red then punches Deadpool in the head and follows up with a kick to the gut. Deadpool throws a flashbang at Red, stunning him, allowing him to follow up by stabbing him with his size. Red then grabs an assault rifle and points it at Deadpool as he starts to fire it. Deadpool teleports between the bullets as he gets in close and performs a Shoryuken, launching Red into the air. Deadpool teleports up behind Red and shoots him in the back with two pistols multiple times, forcing Red to the ground. Deadpool throws down multiple frag grenades at Red, who shoots them out of the air with his shotgun, causing an explosion in midair. Deadpool lands and looks at Red. Red grabs his empty shotgun and throws it at Deadpool, who dodges as Red runs over and knees Deadpool in the head, ripping off one of his legs. He then kicks Deadpool in the crotch with his own leg. Red goes to focus his mind one last time for another pulse, but Deadpool grabs his sword and chops off Red's head. Alright, huge thanks to Corey and O'Keefe for helping out with the Deadpool bio. Now, our winner is Deadpool, but not for the reasons you'd think. You see, strength and durability goes to Red, who could high-five his friend with enough force to destroy 19 city blocks, and he's had sex with a girl using enough force that could create a huge explosion visible from space. So, he was also able to survive these blasts as well. This can be seen as anywhere from town to city level strength, and actually the whole sex thing, that could put him at possibly even larger than city level, as this was a huge explosion. Deadpool, on the other hand, is above Captain America in strength, and he survived hits from powerful foes like Wolverine. His crazy healing factors also allowed him to survive even further, pretty much from just a single drop of blood. So Red can dish out and take lots of abuse, but Deadpool can heal from a single drop of blood, and with only one thing being able to put him down permanently, and that would be planetary collision. Well, Red doesn't have that kind of power output, and while Deadpool is weak, he can't technically kill Red outright. He does have the tools to last long enough to wear down Red's durability and finish him off, especially with his speed advantage. You see, Red has dodged full auto gunfire before, but Deadpool has dodged Cyclops' optic blast and close range electricity before, and he's dodged hits from Spider-Man at a time or two. And he can, teleport, pretty much allowing him to blitz Red with ease. Now, while Red has laser vision and Kamehameha, neither of these are enough to destroy as well as destroying Pulse, neither of these are enough to destroy every single cell in Deadpool's body, let alone have the power output of planetary collision. Had this been a fight to a knockout, or Red could have won this easily. Had we counted shattering Deadpool's head as a kill, he also could have won this. Had we limited the amount of times Deadpool could have regenerated, Red could have won this with ease. But since this is a fight to the death, Red won't be able to win this match. Looks like Deadpool was ready to take anything Red threw at him. Red figured he could just dick around in this fight. Oh god, these puns are just awful. Our winner is Deadpool. Time on Combo Breaker. I've covered a lot of zombie, hunters in my show. I've covered Rick, Joel, fucking Frank West. I've covered a lot of them. But it seems that zombies always make people go psychopathic and become absolute monsters. And next episode is no exception to this rule. Next time we have Negan versus David. Now, just because I want to see people's predictions and David's kind of a odd pick, David is from The Last of Us and Negan is from The Walking Dead. First of all, let me thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this to any friends you know who like versus debates. And, tell me what you think of the next match. Give me your predictions, maybe suggest matches in the comments, and they might happen.